We've got Kylie on the session today. Give her a hand. What up?
At 7 in the morning.
Is it 7 a.m. you're in? Oh, wow. Amazing. So look, well done on your first 10K through the process. Where were you at? Are you over that yet? Or where are you exactly?
No, I'm over that. It took me a little while to get it done, but not because it's like, I'm a little bit, I needed to niche down, which I am, but also, I had already ran through one of my programs and I kind of used your program to start another program. And I want to be able to really niche down even more, dial it even more so that I can, bump it up and make another 10, 20, 30, 40,000, 100,000. That's what I want to be able to do. So yeah, I finally just drilling down was the biggest thing for you. I mean, it was the biggest thing I got from you, which was no, do it again, do it again, do it again. And let's get it right.
Yeah. I mean, I think that Kylie is like one of the biggest challenges right now coming up to what's happened off the back of COVID and in the online space where, most do start very, very generic and it is what it is. But the more generic you are today, the worse it becomes. And it's finding those variations and then it's building a system so that you don't get frustrated in it, because I get it. People will go like, we'll put some stuff out and expect it to work straight away. But it's actually the COA process is designed so that we get the feedback in the quickest way possible, because without that feedback, you never really know. And, like most people will want to go straight to an organic platform. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But the problem is it could take years and years and years of refining that message to get any sort of feedback. And so with a simple automated ad, you immediately get feedback. Now, you might not like that feedback because you're expecting it to be more cost effective, but it means that we can do something about it. And like 98% of the market won't ever have a system or process in place so they can actually understand that, or have someone there saying, okay, cool, let's restructure it. Where were you before in terms of like, where was your current business or the current messaging?
The messaging was watered down. You helped me. I joined you because I needed that next level, right? I'm always going to be in some sort of course, mastermind, mentor, coach. I'm always going to be it because that's how we're going to grow, right? So I had been in one for 5 months, and it gave me a lot of clarity on the actual course, right? Mm-hmm. But I couldn't get up. I couldn't get over that hill. I could not climb that freaking mountain any higher. So I joined you because I thought, you know what, Kylie, you're going to go all in. And people think sometimes that, oh my God, the price that you're going to pay for that. You don't get it. You don't get it, man. If you're not going to pay it, you're never going to get there. You have to find somebody smarter than you to help you reach those goals. And I'm pretty smart, but you got to find somebody smarter than you.
Yeah, I mean, you're preaching to the converted. That makes total sense. I'm always involved in, for 7 years, I've been, part of a really high level, training program that we all have to, hit our targets or else we get kicked out. And, it's, I totally get that. I mean, there's a lot of people online that are coaches that don't have coaching, which is crazy, really. I mean, if you've got a problem in your health, wealth, or relationship, find someone else to help you do it. Otherwise, you'd have already figured it out, because if there's a problem there, you can't create, a way around it with the same level of thinking that created the problem in the first place. So look, I get that. That also, what do you think was like, what did you notice, or what did it strike out about us that you knew that would take you to that next level?
I had listened to you on Clubhouse and a couple of other, I listened to you on Clubhouse, and then there was a podcast also that I listened to. And I thought, you know what, there is there was kind of like a no bullshit methodology of making it. And I like where you stuck with people, you're consistent. Your teaching is a lot like my teaching as far as how I run my program. But again, like how can we level up and how can we charge more and still, so now what I want to do is I want to go to that next level. It's like when I did my first call, like with your sales team, I think it was like maybe August or September or so. And I'm like, okay, so now what's the pitch, right? What's the pitch, right? So, and it was so helpful. And I was a little concerned, honestly, like, okay, wait, because, I mean, teaching the UK, Europe, America, there is differences, right? And I had a business in South Africa for like 12 years. And what I didn't want it to be was all like, hey, we have to be so polite because we're from the UK, right? I'm like, no, I want this shit, right? I want this. I want you to be real. I want to know that no matter what, I'm going to make this. I'm going to put the money out there. I'm going to do the work, but I'm going to make this. I'll call my own, man. I'm very like, this is on you, Kylie. You're not doing it because it's on you. So I liked it because, and the support is a big support.
Yeah, I like that. 100% you are someone that takes ownership, and look, it is one of those things. Like it is, I promise you, it is easy if you're willing to just to sit in there, do the work, and continue to use the support as designed. It's always there, and and just unfortunately most people don't have a proven process to follow, and with too many things going on, unless they focus down on that, the reality is, and if they're not focused down on consistent sales on a monthly basis, they're going to get so diluted. What is it the most about the support that you liked the best? Sometimes people
I like the fact, okay, your program is, again, simple auto ad, like a simple automation ad, right? Find the ad that works and then stick with it. I'm still playing around with which one is going to work the best, really. But I liked the fact that you could put in the group, here's the ad, here's the copy, here's my clicks, here's what I'm getting. A lot of people think that it's, where you're trying to figure out how much pricing is, $7 to $8 per click. So I think that was helpful. So, and then the fact that I could get my team a little bit more involved, and I pivoted in the middle of the program. I had a larger team and they weren't synced, right? So here I am, I'm teaching scalability, I'm teaching growth, and I'm teaching how to use a team, but my team sucked at that point. I really, honestly. So I had to and I'm wasting all this money on this side of the team. This side of the team is doing dandy, right? But this side of the team wasn't, there was no gel. So I couldn't get my ads and my landing pages to really blend and talk to each other. Really, honestly, was what it was. It was like one was Bali land and one was done the other way, right? So I've now skinnied down my team. My team is back to specifically like a conversion kind of team. And I've used that same team for about 7 years, where I plugged in other people. Now I've said to them, listen, okay, I'm going to let go of this part of the team. You guys are going to have to be able to, you guys are going to have to be everything to me. And it worked. So they leveled up as well. I want to get them more involved in the program so that they are hearing what you're saying.
Makes sense. It speeds up the process. We get that a lot now. Like a lot of people just don't have the headspace to take on everything, and it is actually more efficient when you think who else can get other people to train our team for us. So that's exactly what we do. Like if we have to launch into a new platform, I'll find someone else to train the team up, or I'll get someone else to do it. It's just as simple as that. So it saves up valuable asset time and headspace, so that people you can just focus on productivity and efficiency and profitability. What do you think there's anything that was stopping you from making that decision of joining us? Were you hesitant at all about it, considering you were already in a program as well?
Yeah, Yeah, I think, I think that you're always thinking like, okay, wait, am I going to waste this money? Right? That's what you're thinking.
Mm.
Is this program going to work for me? Um, and
Just pause me. I just pause you real quick.
no,
So what's like? Do you think people just think? Do you think that's the number one? Is it going to work for me?
I think so, Ed. I
Mm,
do. Because if you've already done one before,
mm,
right? And I came from a world, I've always been self-employed,
mm,
right? I've always been an entrepreneur. I I I don't I mean I was a my only one real job was, and I tell people this all the time, I was a cocktail waitress and a bar manager, right? In a Cajun restaurant. And then I liked it so much I bought it. So I suck as an employee. I'm the worst employee ever. But so I'm always gonna be in something that's gonna level me up, as I said. But you still want to say to yourself, is it gonna work for me? And you have to know that are they gonna get me? Is it gonna work for me? And you have to know how to get out of your own way. Again, and I teach this, and I'm teaching this, but I'm like, how I say, okay, I'm gonna help you scale and grow without the frustration and without that feeling of defeat. But I'm the one that also had defeating feels, so I had to make sure that it worked for me. Otherwise, you're just, like, might as well just flush the money down the
mm.
toilet.
How did you know then? So how did you make that decision?
I used my gut feeling, right? And I know I liked where you're like, okay, listen, I thought, well, is there a money back guarantee, right? And I think I asked that on the question and I can't remember what the answer was. I think it was no, but it's like, it's fine. I understood it. I knew I had to go all in. So when I saw you on the first time, and I tell my team this, you know what, we're going to listen to Ed. We're going to freaking zip it and listen to Ed. I see how many people are on your call. I know what you charge. So obviously you know what you're talking about. And I like to be a cheerleader for other people, right? But I also want to get there. So I was, when I was struggling a little bit in the middle of it, because I couldn't get the message right, I was like, like, you get to this point of like saying, well, God, if everybody else can do it, why can't I do it? And you still then have to look at your messaging.
Mm.
Like you said, you have to look at your messaging.
Just so you know, we do have a guarantee with it.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure whether they that they're probably depending on what you're answering, but we do based
Yeah.
on, like we will, again, first of all, we'll only take someone on that we believe that we can help. So that's a big part of it. If we don't believe that either they have got the capacity or the offer just doesn't work. So we don't take on every single offer.
Yes.
There's lots of offers that we decline on a daily basis because that they're not right for the process and or not right for the market. And so we're not going to take something out that we don't think that it's going to work. If we think it's going to work, then it's easy to support that until it does get an ROI, and therefore that's the guarantee on that, because we've seen it so many times. But it really is kind of today, the actual biggest frustration is someone there actually contouring your message, because I'll be frank with you, most people will give up because they'll do it like once or twice and they don't have that feedback. And if you don't have the feedback, then immediately people think either the market doesn't work or an ad doesn't work, or like I don't work. The worst thing is when people start to think that they are the person that's not good enough, and it's got actually nothing to do with qualifications, certifications, etc. It's purely the structure of that message that aligns with your ideal client. So that being said, first of all, I want to say thank you to you, pursuing it, making the great decision for joining us, because lots of people are hesitant of that. I don't know, I find that sometimes a struggle to understand that personally. If you have an expectation to build something super successful, why not get other people to help you? It just makes total commercial sense. But look, thank you so much for being an amazing client, first of all, because it's not possible without you. And look, really excited for your next steps. What would you say to someone that was on the edge of joining, that was hesitant?
I would say get out of your own way and jump in. You have to be able, my husband's a chemist, right? And so I tell him he's like a rocket scientist. He's truly, honestly. And I'm like, honey, once you did your, he has a PhD, blah, blah, blah. So he paid his schooling. It's one and done. But for an entrepreneur, it's not that same way. It's not that same way. You have to continuously find how to build yourself, how to elevate it, how to change it, especially now after COVID. Because COVID changed everything, right? But then the online space is so busy and noisy. How do you set yourself apart? I'm still working it. But that's what it is. And you've got to find, you don't, jump off that hairy edge and just go for it. Seriously, like that's what you got to do.
The hairy edge.
The hairy edge.
It's the hairy edge.
Yeah, the hairy edge.
It's not smooth, it's hairy.
No.
That's so good.
If it was smooth, then everybody would be doing it, but it's hairy.
The hairy edge.
It's scary and hairy, so you got to do it.
I don't know. I agree. Is it scary? I don't know. To not take that job sounds to me personally as one of the scariest things. Like, I get what you're saying, and I think people live in this world of absolute delusion. To do something that you don't want to do for the rest of your life, I would rather die. I would genuinely, as you said, you worked as a waitress and then bought the restaurant. I think, and it is about, at the end of the day, like, are you truly living on your own values? And it's got actually nothing to do with money. It's actually designing a life that really suits you. But that being said, Kylie, I really appreciate you. High five. Well done. You've been a pleasure, an awesome client. And look, I do appreciate it because you were very, very coachable. So people always say, like, what's the number one element that we look for? Coachability. There's nothing wrong with having frustration. There's nothing, actually, none of these things are, they're going to stop you. It's the ability to say, fuck it, let's just do it and just keep on doing it and staying determined. So look, that being said, let's get your next steps sorted, me and you.
Yep. Thank you.